When you get to the age of 18, you obviously want a license. And what do parents do most of the time? Well, they allow their children to go and have a license, and obviously at a parent's expense, they have to buy their children cars. Well, first cars for many children do start off with expensive cars such as polos and whatever's. But today I'll be giving parents advice or teenagers who want to buy themselves a first car. Yes, today I'll be making the top 5 cars that teenagers should buy as a first car. Yes, I'm Junior and you're watching Junior on Cars. Get into the video, we start off with the first car, which is the Suzuki Espresso. Yes, many of us, if you're coming from my country, which is in South Africa, you know the Suzuki Espresso is very popular because of its affordable price. Well, how much does it cost? Well, it costs under 156,000 rands. Well, that is if you when you added all the ops and everything, so it means that all the options and everything, even if you add them up, it does bring you to 156,000, which is very, very affordable. It's less than a Polo Vivo. Well, what do you get for 156,000 rands in performance? Well, you get a 1-liter petrol, which produces 50 brake horsepower and 19 newton meters of torque. And if you want to, you can have two kinds of gearboxes. Well, you can have a 5-speed manual or maybe a 5-speed automatic. So it doesn't matter which one you choose because it still has a small engine. The 1-liter petrol is the same as a Volkswagen T-Cross and a Volkswagen Taygo. Well, when I mean the Taygo, not the R-Line version, just the normal version with 110 brake horsepower. Well, obviously cars like this, you're expecting, as a parent or maybe a person who wants to start off with a car, you're expecting it to have a bigger warranty. Well, yes, Suzuki do guarantee to give you a 5-year warranty, so even if the car breaks down, you're still able to get a new one. So many of teenagers who want to start off with a car, I think this is the best option. But if you want to know more of the cars, stick to the video and watch. Well, let's get into number 2, which is the Mahindra KUV 100. Yes, the Mahindra KUV is not very popular, honestly speaking. It's not popular as Toyota or maybe a Renault Kigo or whatever, but it is very affordable. Well, many people who do buy these cars are maybe people who like cruising in the city or maybe just want to, live on a budget life. Well, this car is very budgetable, if it's a real word, if you want to buy a first car. Well, the price tag of it is around 172,000 rands. Well, what do you get for that performance wise? Well, you get a bigger engine than the Espresso, which is a 1.2-liter 3-cylinder petrol, which produces around 61 brake horsepower and 115 newton meters of torque. Well, just the same as the Espresso, you can have to opt if you want to have a 5-speed manual or maybe a 5-speed automatic. Well, honestly speaking, I'm not sure about the automatic, but it only shows the 5-speed manual transmission. But honestly speaking, I would have number 2 because it's a little bit faster than the Espresso. But the Espresso is very affordable because that one, the second one, is actually 172,000 rands and the Espresso is 156,000 rands. So it's very affordable, number 1. Number 2 is quite a little bit expensive, but you do get a lot of performance. It has more power and more torque than the Espresso. Well, let's check into what has more power, which is number 3, which is the Renault Kwid. Well, as we all know, the Renault Kwid is very popular in South Africa. Literally, it is the most popular car. Wherever you turn, you just see the Renault Kwid. Well, why is it popular? Well, let's start off with the price tag because the price tag is very affordable, which is around 177,000 rands, which is a little bit more than the Mahindra KUV and a lot more than the Suzuki Espresso. Well, what do you get for their performance wise? Well, you get a 3-cylinder 1-liter petrol, which is unfortunately is the same as the KUV, but it just misses 2 cylinders actually extra, but it does have the same engine as the Espresso. But does it have the same power? Well, the Suzuki Espresso's power is around 50 brake horsepower. Well, the Renault Kwid is the same because it also has 50 brake horsepower and 91 newton meters of torque. Well, the torque is 1 more than the Espresso, but is less than the KUV. So honestly speaking, it really doesn't make any difference, but the warranty is the difference. Or if I didn't forget to mention, well, the KUV Mahindra's warranty, I mean the Espresso's warranty is 5 years. Well, the KUV is a little bit less, unfortunately. It is around 3-year warranty, so you only have 3 years with it than the Espresso because the Espresso has 5 years. So yeah, it's a bit of a loss there already. It looks like the Espresso is already winning. But like I said, let's get back to number 3, which is the Renault Kwid. Well, the Renault Kwid's warranty is the same as the Espresso, which is around 5-year warranty. Funny enough, for me, honestly speaking, these small little cars have more warranties than this a little bit larger urban cars. So I am not sure what is going on. Well, if you want to, you can also upgrade to the Kwid Zen. Yes, if you don't know the Zen model of it, well, that is the Zen model is a much bigger performance one. I think it is a little bit is a little bit extras and everything has been added, so it's a little bit of the other part of it. Unfortunately, I don't see do they have like the life, but besides the life, they do have the Renault Kwid Climber. Well, if you don't know the Climber version, well, it's on your screen, and the Zen model is also this is on your screen. They look the same, it's just the names have been added. Well, the Zen model, which starts off around 187,000 rands, or top of the range model called the Renault Kwid Club Climber. Well, like I said, the Zen model is a bit of a step up from the normal Kwid, so there's a bit of a difference, and also the price difference, because the normal Kwid is around 177,000 rands and the Zen model is around 187,000 rands. So it's a bit of an expensive one, but trust me when I say that it is worth it, because the Zen model obviously offers more performance, maybe, or other stuff. Maybe in the year, or maybe later in the year, I'll be maybe making a review of it. So yeah, let's leave it for now. Let's get into number 4, which is the Suzuki Celerio. Well, if you don't know the Celerio, it is on your screen and is the most advertised car literally in South Africa. Every single time you switch on your TV, you see Suzuki Celerio or the Renault Kwid or maybe the Espresso. Well, the Suzuki Celerio is a bit expensive, which is around 174,000 rands, which is a lot than the Espresso. Literally, it is more than the Espresso, and it's more than the Mahindra KUV 100. And honestly speaking, I'm surprised it is less than the Renault Kwid. So it's a bit of a difference, but let's see what it really offers if it is around 174,000 rands. Performance wise, well, the engine is a 3-cylinder 1-liter engine, the same as the Celerio, the same as the Espresso, and also the same as the Renault Kwid. Well, it has less performance also, which is around 49 brake horsepower and 89 newton-meters of torque. But I don't get why is it so expensive if it is less, literally 1 horsepower less than the Renault, than the Suzuki, than the Suzuki Espresso. So it is less more performance, and less more also, a lot less than the Mahindra KUV, and also surprisingly less than the Renault Kwid. So it is a budget car, but less performance, literally 1 horsepower less than the Renault Kwid. So a bit of a performance lag and also torque lag, because the Renault Kwid has 91 newton-meters of torque and the Suzuki Celerio has 89 newton-meters of torque. That is a 2 torque difference. But the gearbox is also a bit different, because you can have a 5-speed automatic, or if you want to, you can also have the same 5-speed manual. So let's check what is the most important part of buying a car, which is the warranty. Yes, Suzuki do guarantee you a 2-year service plan and also a 5-year warranty. So it is the same as the Suzuki Espresso. So it is literally the same as the Suzuki Espresso. So if you want to, you can choose the Suzuki Celerio or maybe the Suzuki Espresso. So honestly speaking, I think Suzuki do offer more warranties than other companies, such as Toyota also do offer 6-year warranties and 10-year and whatever and so on. So let's leave that. But before we leave that, you can also opt the Celerio. Well, you can have a higher model, the spec, where there is also a 1-liter, but it is a bit more expensive, which is around 194,000 rands. Well, honestly speaking, if it is 194,000 rands, which means that I think there is more performance into it. Maybe it's not, maybe the Celerio normal version has 49 horsepower. I think, honestly speaking, the top of the range do have a little bit of performance, maybe like 55 brake horsepower or maybe more. And if you want to, you can opt to, like I said, automatic version. But the automatic version does come at a higher price if you want to buy your teenager this car, or if you want to buy yourself this car. While the automatic version and the manual version are a bit different. While the automatic version costs around 209,000 rands, which is highly expensive than the normal version, which is around 174,000 rands. So that is a big gap literally on the price tag. So if you want to buy this for your child, I think you're gonna have to buy the manual, because let's save the manuals before they go. Well, let's get to the last of the lot, which is the Suzuki Swift. Yes, if we all know, the Suzuki Swift is a very popular car, same as the Celerio, the Renault Kwid, and the Suzuki Celerio. And also the Suzuki Espresso. Well, the Swift actually is a very popular car. Literally, many people do buy it because it is very affordable. Well, the reason why it came in number 5, because it is a little bit higher than most of the cars on this list. The other Suzuki Swift comes at around 189,000 range, which is more than the Celerio, the Kwid, and the Espresso, and the KUV together. Well, what do you get for that performance-wise? Well, you get a bigger engine than the Celerio and also the Kwid. Well, it has a 1.2-liter petrol engine, which produces around 61 brake horsepower and 113 Newton meters of torque. Well, honestly speaking, it is enough performance for a car like that. But if you want to, as we all know, you can upgrade to the Suzuki Swift sports version, which is the sports hatchback of it, same as the i30 and the i30N. So if you want to, you can upgrade to the Suzuki Swift sports version, the sports hatchback version, which has more power and more torque and whatever. Well, if you want to stay with this normal Swift version, well, you can have an option of a 5-speed manual or maybe a 5-speed automatic. But let's go to the most important part of every single car, the warranty. Well, since it's a Suzuki car, well, obviously the warranty is big enough. Well, it has a 5-year warranty, so you're guaranteed to have it for 5 years. So it means if the car breaks down, you'll be still able to get a new one for 5 years. So don't make it on purpose to break your cars, because Suzuki is very reliable and everything. So it's not really easy for cars like that to break, but maybe you can have simple stuff such as a manifold, or maybe suspension failure, maybe a gearbox or clutch or whatever. But besides that, honestly speaking, between having a Suzuki Swift and the sports version, honestly speaking, if I had more than enough, I would actually buy the Suzuki Swift sports version, because the sports version has more performance, torque and whatever, and is a faster hatchback. But if you want to buy your son, or actually your daughter, a car, I think, honestly speaking, on this top 5 list, honestly speaking, I think for a girl, the Renault Kwid would be a good option, maybe the Espresso, because that is more such as urban cars. But if you're a boy, honestly, you're looking for more performance because you're a boy. Well, honestly speaking, performance-wise, I think you can have the Suzuki Swift, or maybe if you want to up, you can have a Mahindra KUV 100. But only don't do this, don't stance the cars, because literally in South Africa, everything is a stance. But if you want to choose between all 5 of them, for my opinion, well, I would have the Mahindra KUV 100, because it has a lot of torque and enough horsepower, and also the Suzuki Swift because it has enough torque and more horsepower. But if I'd use it as a daily car, I would literally, I think I would use the Celerio, because the Celerio has less power and more urban. Maybe it is a bit comfortable, but I'll tell you if I make a review of it. The Renault Kwid, same story, comfortable and everything. So cars like that are very valuable and enjoyable. So yeah, the end of the video. If you like the video, please give it a like, and if you want to watch more videos of mine, click onto the main channel to go and watch more videos of mine. Or if you want to watch, if you want to know more about us, well, follow us on our Instagram page, which is Juno on Cars. Same thing on Twitter. So bye.